I have to admit, accreditation was very hard for me at the beginning because, I'm stubborn. I had this is the way I know things should work. But having 8, 9 people in the same around the same table discussing the same thing, it's very rich. You get to see different points of view, and all of them looking to achieve the same standard.
So, welcome to TomoClub podcast series of Leaders of Tomorrow. And today on our podcast, we have the Director of Literacy from Dubai Modern Education School, Sherine Hassan. Thank you so much for taking our time, Sherine, and welcome to the podcast.
Thank you so much. It's a pleasure being with you.
And honestly, when I was going through your profile, you have traveled across so many countries, Asia, the Gulf, Kurdistan. And I think the topic of discussion today about accreditation is very less discussed and not actually a lot of understood by the founders and operators of school. So I am very excited to discuss about this topic. But before we start, I would love to know if your journey in education, what got you excited to work in education in the first way?
Okay, thank you so much for that. Yes, accreditation is one of the things that I'm very passionate about. People that are close to me know that my dream is to have a lot of money, because when we do accreditation, it's a voluntary work, so we're not getting paid. So my dream is one day I have enough money to live, so I can do accreditation for life, and I don't do anything else. So as you said, I'm Sherine Hassan. I'm Egyptian. Actually, it was a funny story. I landed in education by chance. My dream was to be an engineer, but then for some reason, I didn't go to the Faculty of Engineering in Egypt. I went to the Faculty of Education. I was so sad at the beginning, but then as the years went by, I just fell in love with it. I felt that this is my purpose in life. And I worked in Egypt for 10 years in different schools. Some of the schools were private, some international, some were local government schools. And then in 2011, I decided to go international. First, I went to Saudi Arabia, spent almost 4.5 years there, was an English teacher first, head of department, and then academic vice principal. Was responsible for the curriculum and teaching and learning. And then after 4.5 years, I got an opportunity to see another country, which is Kuwait. I moved to Kuwait, where I worked for 5 years. My accreditation journey actually started in Saudi Arabia when I was the vice principal of academics, because the school was new and it was undergoing what was called at that time Advanced Ed. Now it's called Cognia. It's one of the accreditation bodies, one of the most famous American ones. So the school sent us on training on how to be an evaluator with Advanced Ed or Cognia, so we can come back to our school and work with that. And that was a great experience. So when I moved to Kuwait, I found that the school in Kuwait was going through a different body of accreditation called Council of International School, CIS, very famous. And I was like, I haven't heard of that before. What is this? So I went on the website, and there it said, become a volunteer. So I clicked on become a volunteer, attended a training. There was a training in Turkey. I traveled to Turkey, took the training, and then they gave you a test or something. And if you pass the test, you are with them. And I did. And my first accreditation visit was to Oman. I remember it very well. It was in a very small school, not in the capital. For the sake of privacy, of course, I can't say the name of the school, but it's in a small city outside of Muscat, the capital. And I was amazed at what we do. Like, for me, it was just a trip to see what do these people do. So because they are coming to school after 2 months, and I really need to know what to expect and what questions they are going to ask me. But I found that it's a whole process, and it's giving you the opportunity to help a school to improve and become better. And you're not there to inspect, you're there to help them. You're a critical friend. You're not an inspector. And that amazed me, how we carefully look at everything, how we carefully discuss the team, like we were a team of 8 people, how the 8 people within 1 week leave, like we meet as strangers on the first day, but we leave as friends on the last day after a week of eating, sleeping in the same hotel, eating together all the meals, doing all their meetings, having other meetings, discussing what we see, bringing our experience from our own context to this new school. All of that was just amazing. And ever since then, I decided to go on with that. So I have completed 26 accreditation visits so far with different bodies. And next week, I'm going on my 27th.
That's incredible. And to be frank, I've never found anyone in my entire education journey, somebody who's really passionate about accreditation. And I love it. I think you have busted my first myth right away, because a lot of time people are scared, they think that accreditation body that's coming to volunteer feels like they're gonna be inspectors rather than supporters.
Mm-hmm.
First, tell me, like, do you guys have any power to take away the license or penalize anything like that if school is not working fine as per your requirements?
It doesn't work this way. So they're in all accreditation. So currently I work with CIS, Council of International School, NEASC, New England Association for Schools and Colleges, MSA, Middle States Accreditation, and Cognia. So I work with 4 of them, and as well as the synchronized visits, because I know a lot of them. So CIS being the prominent accreditation agency in the world, sometimes they do 2 organizations together if a school needs to lessen the load on them. So I usually lead that because CIS is the biggest. But sometimes the other party is IB. So I'm also familiar. Sometimes I go on CIS IB. Never went on an IB standalone visit, but it's usually CIS IB. In all of these bodies, there are 2 or 3 things that could say, oh no, the school is not accredited. And they are like, it's all about, the school is a school for the children. So if the children are not safe, that's it. He can say, no, there's no accreditation. And of course, safety could be physical safety. The building is not safe enough. Like the stairs could fall with the students. There could be a fire, the area. It could be financial risk, like the school is in debt, for example. So it's very likely that within the year, the school will close. So where are the students going to go? It's, again, the well-being and safety of the students. Yeah. This is the only thing that is a red flag. Other than that, as an accreditation agency, we don't go to tell you you're bad. Okay. Or you're good. We go there to tell you, these are great things. This is your vision and mission. We think you're going on the right way. These are the things that you do that we think could take you into the route to reach your vision at the end. And these things we think you need to work a little bit on. One of the things that as evaluators, we know very well, we cannot mandate. I can tell you as a school, you need to take that program or you need to hire this position. I can say that. Yeah. I can say that you have a problem with this area, with literacy, for example. You have a problem with this, with literacy, so explore ways to overcome the problem that you have. We never dictate anything. So unless the school is risky for the children, we don't take the accreditation away from them.
Got it. That's super helpful. So any school out there, a privately run or a public-private partnership, can they apply for accreditation, or what's the eligibility criteria to apply for accreditation?
So any school can apply. It has to be running for, it's not has to, but it's advisable that the school is running for at least 2 years before they apply. And then they can go online for any of the accreditation agencies that are around. There are some that are specific for American schools like MSA and NEASC, for example, and WASC. These three are only American. Cognia as well to a great extent, but Cognia is on the border. CIS is very international and wide. There are ones like the Offset, for example, which is a British one. So there are some that are only British, some that are only American, and one big one that is none, like CIS. Of course, IB is only IB.
Yeah.
So the school decides, goes online, choose what they think is suitable for their context, and serves their vision and mission. The vision and mission should be the drive for any decision that school takes. Like, you decide on CIS, it means that CIS will serve your vision at the end.
Right.
They go online, there is become a member. Once they click on that, fill the application, they will be in contact with them and take them through the journey. It's a journey of improvement. That's what we like to call.
So definitely that's a foremost benefit, that, there's a neutral person coming in, like consultants, people hire McKinsey and Big Fours. It can be something like that, and they can come and give you recommendations or support. Apart from that, what other benefits people look for? We can be more candid about it, because one thing I'm pretty sure people use this accreditation to attract parents. It becomes a important tool to justify the cost, justify the price that they're asking for. So, what can you tell us? Like, what are the main reasons behind the door that people look for accreditation?
So when a school is accredited, they have the right to use the logo of the organization on their report cards, on their correspondence, on their website. So they use it for branding.
Yeah.
So this is exactly like a quality assurance. It says, like, this school, we as CIS or we as NEASC or we as whatever organization it is, guarantee that the type of education this school provides is international or is up to our standard. So this is the main thing of accreditation. The organization guarantees the standard of education the school provides. And of course, this is helpful. Some of universities around the world require that they can't accept students from certain areas unless the school is accredited.
Wow. But that's definitely.
So, yes, so this is very important. Like, if I am a parent, I need to make sure that I can send my kid to this university. And sometimes the universities mandate that the students come from an accredited school. Especially if the schools are not in their area. Like, for example, if the university is in the States, they want the students coming from outside of the States should be accredited by an American organization. So at least they can guarantee that the children did the right thing. Plus, accreditation ensures for the school that they are taking the right path. Like, I am Egyptian and I live in Dubai, and before that in the Gulf area, in Kuwait and Saudi Arabia. And I, like most of my life, almost all, except for 2 years, I was teaching and leading American curriculum schools. But I have never been taught in an American curriculum. Accreditation helped me know what is right and what is wrong. How many credits should we offer the kids? What is a credit recovery? What can we do if the students didn't finish the credits? What are the things that can replace other things? So, like, it kind of helps you see where you should go and how your school should operate.
The very interesting question coming to my mind, and I've literally thrown away the initial thought out program because I'm just curious about things over here. So sometimes a lot of these quality checks organization, right? They start with a very genuine intent of ensuring quality for the end customer. But sometimes these bodies can also become bullies, right? In a way that it kind of hinders innovation, because whenever somebody is coming up with a new pedagogy or a new model of school, and it doesn't align with the structured standard framework, but they are pursuing some new innovation. So how that I always think that these quality checks can restrict innovation. What are your thoughts on that?
what you're saying is very true when it comes to inspection, not accreditation. And there is a huge difference. Okay. So there are inspection bodies in the world. I'm not going to mention them, but like we do have like 3 of them in UAE. The inspection is a compliance organization. So they mandate, you have to do this, you have to do this, you have to do that. Accreditation is not like that. Accreditation looks at what you do and say, oh, this is a great idea. One of the things that ensures that this is always the case is that the team is usually from different places of the world. So as I said, next week, I'm going on an accreditation visit. I am leading it with a guy that is Australian living in Kuwait. So I'm Egyptian living in Dubai. He's Australian living in Kuwait. There is an Indian living in India. There is a Romanian living in Turkey. And there is a Belgian living, I guess, in Oman, something in the Middle East. So you have all of us who are from a country and live in a different country. So we come with, each of us come with 2 different, at least, unless like someone like me who lived in 4 different countries, so, or 5 actually different countries. So I have 5 different experiences. Each of us has 2 different experiences, and we're going to a school that is in a totally different place. And we're going to Uzbekistan. That's a very different context. So we're going to Uzbekistan with experience of Australia, Kuwait, Egypt, Dubai, India, China, Romania, all of these together coming to that place. There is no way the way I think and I see things is the same as the guy who is Australian and living in Kuwait. Definitely he sees things in a different way. Okay. And that's where the discussion comes from. So we sit together and we agree on something. There are standards that put something to us. So we need to, the school need to meet the standard. We all understand the standards very well, but we put the flavor of our own context, the context we were born and raised in, and the context where we live now and work in. And all of these experience, like, so I would say as an Egyptian, traditional way of teaching, as all my way as a student, I would say, oh, maybe the teacher should give a worksheet for exams, for example. But then someone from the States would say, no, but this minimizes the students' knowledge. So we shouldn't be doing that. And then that's the discussion starts. So you start seeing different ways. I have to admit, accreditation was very hard for me at the beginning because like I'm stubborn. I had this is the way I know things should work. But having 8, 9 people in the same around the same table discussing the same thing, it's very rich. You get to see different points of view and all of them looking to achieve the same standard.
This is very interesting because I was about to ask you about the cultural context but I think in this way it's not a restricting thing. It's more like a bigger picture because when you come in from different backgrounds and different understanding, you will bring in much more rich diversity to the thought process. So I think that's beautiful, honestly.
Yeah. And also all accreditation agencies tend to review their standards. They send like a feedback form to all the schools that are members, and we tend to review the standards at least every year. So I always receive from CIS, from NEASC, MSA. We are on the process of reviewing our standards now, every like 2-3 years. What are your thoughts? What do you think? So they get feedback from us as evaluators, from other people. And this is really helpful. Like if they also like accreditation believes in improvement. So they do it for themselves before even doing it with others.
Absolutely agreed with that. So the first time that you did accreditation was, you said, in Saudi. So what made you do that in the first place? Like, why did you go and volunteer for the first time? Or was it just an experiment?
It was just an experiment. First time was just an experiment. It was like, I want to know what is this about? And I wanted to just have the experience so I can come back to my school So when they come visit my school, I am ready. That was the reason. I just want to know when they come, what type of question they will ask me, what are the documents they will ask for. That's what when they go to classes, what are they looking for inside the class? That was the whole experience. But then I fell in love with it and then decided to do it.
Love it. So please share your experience. Like you've done 26 accreditation across different countries. So can you
Yeah.
share what kind of pattern did you see? Or if you have any anecdotes of something that always stood out in your head for the certain schools. I think our audience would love to know about that experience.
Yeah, like I believe that every school is amazing in its own way. Every school has, like, there was a school, the school in India, for example, I was just talking to you about. It was the first time that I see monkeys around the school. And as I told you, like, child protection, student safety is very big. So we were like, okay, how is the school going to be innovative and save the students? And we saw that. We saw what the school is doing. The school had guards all around the school. And the first time we saw them, they had like rifles in their hands. And we were like, oh my God, are they killing the monkeys? But actually, they are not. They are just putting them to bed. It's just to make the monkeys sleep until the children move, and then the monkeys play again. So for me, that was an experience. I haven't seen anything like that. As a person who hasn't been in a place where it's open, for me, it would be very strange. Like, how am I going to ensure the students are safe in a place that is full of monkeys, for example? But the school actually did. We've seen schools where, for example, in my mind, I'm thinking of a school that is very small. That school was in Spain. It was a very, very small school that is all of 50 students. So this is a big challenge for the school because 50 students means less money, means it's hard for you to have enough teachers for all of them. That means, like, if you have 50 students, that means, and across K to 12, for example, actually the school was up till grade 8 only. Across 8 levels, that means that every grade level has less than 10 students. And actually there were grade levels that have only 2 students. So how can the school be innovative in this sense and make sure that all the students have the appropriate teaching, and at the same time the school can afford that financially? Also, that was an experience. I've never seen schools that are that small. I have seen schools in Kenya, for example. There was this amazing school. This is an experience. So we always, in accreditation, we talk about the voice of the students, and the students need to be part of the school. Right. So in Kenya, they did something amazing. They asked the students, how do they like their school to look like? And then most of the boys wanted the school to look like Harry Potter. And most of the girls wanted the school to look like the castle of Rapunzel. So the whole idea is that the school, looking at this data, decided that means that the students like the castle design. Yeah. And so they did. They built the new building was a castle. Okay. It was amazing. We went inside and it was like, oh my God, around us, even the library, the way the library is built, everything in the school is a castle. You feel like you went into one of the fairy tales as you go inside the school. That for me, and it's in Kenya, like a country that you would assume, they are not very advanced, but actually no. The school was very advanced to its context. Yeah, yeah. Every school has something unique. Every school, no matter what you say, even if you say, oh, this is bad. One of the things that I learned in accreditation, there's no bad school. Every school does something really well, and every school needs help with one area at least. No matter how great the school is, they still need help with an area. They still need an extra pair of eyes. And every school has something that they do very well. Even if it's, I've seen a school in Nigeria that is undergoing severe circumstances, security issues in Nigeria itself, financial problems. But the thing that stood out for us is the sense of community and how every one of the school feels that they are part of the family. Everyone, for me, like we always say, "Oh, I love my school because we feel part of the family." But this school really exemplified it. It was really clear in a way that I was like, I always say my school, like I'm part of the family of my original school. Actually, no, this is a real family. My school is not a real family. You see a lot of things in accreditation.
Now I get it. Now I get it. Your love and passion for this field, because the way you were explaining it, it literally painted a picture for me. And
Uh-huh.
okay, so I'll flip my question. I'll ask you in someone.
Okay.
What's the most common shortcoming have you seen across the schools? The schools, most of the schools don't get it right, and it's something that is gonna change things a lot.
It depends from time to time.
Yeah.
So there was a time in life where technology was the biggest shortcoming. There was time before COVID.
Hmm.
It was almost that every visit you should have a recommendation on technology usage. After COVID, this has changed a lot. Now schools have mastered it. They nailed it. Every school knows how to use technology. But there are other things that come along. So like students are not very engaged now. They are disconnected because they like to be on devices most of the time.
Yeah.
So this is one of the things that I think all schools are struggle with getting the students to go back to loving the paper and pen again. And schools do very unique stuff to reach that point. But this is one of the struggles. I'm not saying that the schools I like what I meant to say is that we are all in this together. We are all suffering from the same thing. Our students now are not as engaged as before. After COVID, so bad. So we all struggle with this. And I think this is one of the things that we usually write about in most of the schools, usually teaching and learning, because one of the things of accreditation is that we would like to see consistency, which means everyone is doing the same thing no matter what subject, what grade level you're teaching, because this is the philosophy of the school. And this is not usually easy, especially if you're talking about an international school that has there are schools here in Dubai that has 200 nationalities of students.
Yeah.
And 100 nationality of teachers. You have 100 teachers, each of them is a different nationality. Our school has 300 teachers and 50 different nationalities.
Incredible.
Imagine.
Insane.
It's insane. When I first started international teaching, one of the things that I've noticed, we as Egyptians like jokes, for example. But I go to someone from Jordan and I joke, and their culture is not that funny or not as funny as the Egyptians. And then you see that they take it bad. As if I am humiliating them. I'm not. I'm just being an Egyptian myself. But of course, by the years, I started to learn what to do and what not to do, what kind of jokes work for everyone, what kind of jokes don't work. So this is a challenge for any school to get everyone on board when everyone is different.
I love those both the points, because when there's multiple cultures, there can be a lot of diverse ideas, but also people can feel that they're walking on eggshells, and that can be troubling. But I love the point of disengagement, and especially after COVID. So a lot of companies, a lot of products are trying to solve for that. Maybe pen and paper be the solution, maybe something else. I think we will see how things turn out. But tell me about the other thing that happened after COVID, which is a landmark thing, is AI. So
Yeah.
tell me, first of all, do you guys have any recommendations on AI for schools when you go and accredit? Or what have you seen? Are schools already preparing themselves for it?
So CIS is launching a new pathway that is starting 2026. And one of the standards there will be dealing with AI. So like a few years ago, I think 2 years ago, 3 years ago, maybe, CIS started something called Pathway 2. So there is the normal accreditation pathway, which are the 9 domains, all the standards that we talk about. But then they started having something called Pathway 2 for schools that want to be different. So the school can decide if they want to take Pathway 2. And in Pathway 2, it's open. Choose your project. Okay. So you choose a project and you see how, so you answer to all the standards of CIS, but then you do something new outside of all of this. And then we see how that works. But then recently, as more and more schools started to choose Pathway because they can showcase their innovation, CIS started incorporating some of the standards, some of the rubrics are now incorporated into the new protocol, which is starting soon. In all accreditation from like a long time ago, even before COVID, there was always something on technology. And as I said, accreditation doesn't mandate anything. So we can say AI specific, but we can say technology in general. And then, of course, that would lead into AI. What we like to see is how the students, like, we can't put our heads in the sand. AI is around us and students are using it, whether we like it or not. As an education institute, any school is an educational institute. As educators, our role is to teach the students how to use the technological tools around them the right way, the way to benefit, not to harm. So an accreditation, because it's a way of ensuring that the schools are teaching or are educating the kids the right way, then definitely that's always part of it.
So like this pathway to or this new standard which is coming out, what are the expectations or what are the recommendations for schools around AI?
Expectation is that students are engaging with AI and that they are doing it in a way that help them progress, not the opposite. So like let me give you an example. If I go into a school, into a classroom, even my school, not necessarily accreditation. If I go into a classroom in my school and I see that a teacher is posting some questions on the board and asking the students to find the answer to them, and the students just type the question in the AI and get the answer, this is not benefiting the students. This is helping the students to rely heavily on a tool and not using their brains. But if I'm asking my students, for example, to search the same question in ChatGPT, DeepSeek, Gemini, for example, and compare the 3 answers, this is another skill that I'm teaching the students. So I'm using AI, and I'm allowing the students to use it and find the answer on it, but I'm also allowing them to use more than one tool at the same time and see what's right and what's wrong. If I'm asking them to use Canva, for example, for AI presentation, this is a good way. You have your own information and you can use a tool like Canva to create your own PowerPoint, and nice PowerPoint that has all the things that are moving around and stuff, or a video or whatever. Or in a place like UAE where it's a conservative community to a great extent and women doesn't like to show their faces on videos, if I asked the girls in my school, for example, to create a video and they used AI to create a video with the content they prepared, but animated characters and voice that is not theirs, that would be a great example of using AI. But asking the students to just type whatever they want in ChatGPT and copy and paste, that would be something that we would say, oh, it's not working well for you. Let's think of other ways to make it work better.
Makes sense. So are the recent accreditation that you've done, have schools already taken proactive steps in terms of teacher training or in terms of student AI literacy programs?
Yeah, yes. Like everywhere. Like yesterday, I was in an English literacy conference, just yesterday here in Dubai. And like 3 of the 8 sessions were AI sessions. AI and how to use AI for language. And there were very, very creative ideas. Like things like one of the sessions was talking about Shakespeare and how to use AI to help the students access one of the Shakespearean plays like Romeo and Juliet, Hamlet, Macbeth, or whatever. That for me, that was, oh my God, this is a great idea. So everywhere now, I still think, however, that there isn't enough research to help us use AI the right way. And I would not encourage teachers to use it a lot, but I would encourage teachers to take baby steps using it, because even us, even the people who are AI experts, are still not, like, I don't think there is someone who's an educator and an AI expert. There are AI experts and there are educators, but someone who's in between is not there yet, because there is not enough research yet. So we still need, I think we still need to figure this out. We could help the teachers with baby steps, step by step. Let's do this for now. Let's do this activity for now and see how it works, but not encourage everyone to start using AI and stop everything else.
No, absolutely. I think at least the teacher training part is very essential, where they understand how student may use it in a good way and a bad way, the ethics, responsible use, because there are a lot of issues coming up already, whether student using it for mental health, student using it for companionship, or video morphing, fake news. So there's so many or frauds that can come because of AI, which may happen around us. And I think teacher training is the first crucial step, where you do not tell them, where you may or may not be open to the idea that students are using it, but at least teachers know what they can do with it so that they are prepared.
Correct.
Also, tell me one more thing. So, at least in the US context, the reason that why schools are quickly innovating is because they rely a lot on third party vendors, and they end up embracing it, which is why the innovation speed is also quicker, because private entities, they know there is a market for that. From both the point of view, first the school adoption in the Middle East, how open they are, because a lot of schools tend to build things by themselves versus build versus buy. What do you think is a more likelihood in Middle East, and how does that impact accreditation?
I think also in the Middle East, they do adopt a lot. And that also speeds things, like especially in Dubai, like UAE is very advanced, and like education here is going very fast, and technology is very fast. Like UAE is, I don't know if you have visited here before or not.
I have.
Yeah, so like we do not, I don't even go to have my ID renewed. It's all online. It's all on a bot. There even the banks now. Like I was just in the bank a month ago, and there is this machine where there is an AI person that helps you with you don't need to go into the bank. So like this is a place that really cares about technology and really invest in technology, and they invest a lot in education. So like UAE cares a lot about technology, cares a lot about education. So they do encourage a lot that both get together. And I think there is a market here as well. Like the Middle East is also a market for this, especially that most of the people, like I'm one of them, I'm not a native speaker. So I always need help. Yes, I am an English teacher. Yes, I was a head of English. Yes, now I am director of literacy. But again, I wouldn't forget that I'm not a native speaker. I still have problems. I still have mistakes. That's not my native language. Yeah. So I still need help with it. And I think that's where technology comes in. They can help with the language, with the things that we are missing. The fear and the mania that is happening now is that people drop everything Like now, I had a conversation. I had a student. He was my student long ago at the very, very beginning of my teaching ages in Egypt. And I was teaching him to do in grade 12 last year. And his English was perfect. He was writing excellent paragraphs. He was traveling abroad, so his English was already good. And he was a very, very good writer. He's old now and he's married and he works here. I'm very old, by the way. So he's now in UAE, and he contacted me around a month ago to say, I'm going to do my IELTS exam for some work reasons, and I'm struggling a lot with the writing. I got 4, and I was like, 4? No, I know you very well. You can get 4. You can easily get 7.5. And he was like, yes, but you know what? Ever since AI started, I just copy and paste any email that comes to me and ask the AI to respond to the email. So I don't even, it's faster for me. Yes, it's faster, but you lost the big skill.
Oh, wow.
You lost the skill. He was a very good writer. He lost the skill completely. So we had to work together for 2 weeks on him writing every day something for me, handwritten. And I was like, handwritten, so you're not tempted to use AI. This is what happens when we overuse it. And it's very tempting because it's easy. Instead of me reading a whole email and then thinking of what I want to say, or instead of me sitting down to write email with all the details, I can just go to ChatGPT and write an email about the procedures of I don't know what, and then I copy and paste it and amend it. It's easy, but it makes me lose a lot. So I always advise people, even people around me, I always advise them, don't use AI. Stop using ChatGPT. And they're like, I'm not saying that because I'm old-minded. I'm just saying don't excessively use it. I use it. I'm not saying I'm not using it. I use it, but I still believe that we still have a long way before knowing how to use it correctly, how to use it to enhance our skill and not to lose our skill.
No, love that. I think that's been very well put up. And thank you so much. I think now the basic understanding of accreditation is very well established by you. And thank you so much for your time. And I'm pretty sure the 27th trip is going to be a success as well.
Thank you so much.
And yeah, thank you for giving us time.
Thank you. Thank you for giving me the opportunity.
Lovely. Thank you so much.